of at the time, and still, of course, today. Those numbers stand the test of time. A lot of greats of the modern era are also elite rebounders, but for all of the top rebounders since his time, they've all learned. From watching how Wilt played the game.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Parker outside. Leonard on the wing. Duncan kicks to Leonard. Parker drives in. Can't get it to go. Looking at the last game for San Antonio, it was a win against the Clippers.
You know, so often in the NBA we talk about how you have to earn your points the hard way, but it didn't seem like that was the case. Everything came pretty easily.
Too many of their points came the easy way, Steve. You're right, on dunks and layups against a defense that didn't really put up much resistance.
And another gap in the defense found right there. This is one of the worst defensive performances I have ever seen.
Well, gentlemen.
All right, we've got some work to do, but it's not too late. Let's put our...
And as we welcome you back, we begin. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Baines is checked in. Diaw comes in for Duncan. Green, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Joseph in for Tony Parker. The Magic also changing it up. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Vucevic. Fry comes in for Tobias Harris. And Evan Fournier subbed in for Payton. And so in the game for the Magic, the backcourt is Harris and Fournier. Kyle O'Quinn out there with Channing Frye. And it's Gordon in at the 3. Anderson, he's checked in for Orlando. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
Kawhi Leonard has been talked about and mentioned as the future of this San Antonio Spurs team. 23 years old is all he is, and already a great defender and a much improved shooter from his days at San Diego State.
Anderson's shot is off. Spurs leading by 21. Leonard attacking. Green kicks to Joseph. Off target from three-point range.
That's a shot you've got to take if you're looking for the three-pointer. I mean, the defense was nowhere around.
Outside Gordon. Back to Anderson. Shot clock at 6. Here's the screen. Passes to Fournier. Drills the three-pointer. Fournier's got 6 points.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
Here's Joseph. It's hauled in by Gordon. Gordon's got 7 rebounds in the game. Anderson against Leonard. Anderson dishes to Fry. Drains the 19-footer.
He was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
For San Antonio, they've gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. And the call will go against the Prodigy. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle steps for the Spurs?
Their defense has been outstanding, Kevin. Closing out on shots, blocking a lot of them as well.
Another part of their game that's made a difference tonight is all the second chance points they've been able to get.
Bonner, he's checked in for San Antonio. And a change for the Magic. Gordon's checked in. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And they're on the 2K leaderboard of the teams that have been tormenting opponents defensively this month. Number 1, the Spurs.
Yeah, they've been on a defensive tear lately, allowing so few points, and I think it's the energy with which they play. Boy, they've really dominated on the glass, and of course they've done a lot of good things here tonight, but the rebounds have played a major factor.
Hey, Steve, you know rebounding always one of the key barometers in determining the victor.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Purdy. Doris, what do you have?
Well, last season, the Spurs made history, becoming the first team to finish a season with every player averaging under 30 minutes a game. Pop said, "We've been resting guys since I've been here. I think it extends their careers." Kevin, the league once fined the Spurs $250,000 for resting their stars, but the rings speak for themselves.
And surprising that more teams don't adopt that approach, Doris. Thank you.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
In for the Magic.
Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Ginobili and Leonard on the wings. Down low, it's Duncan and Splitter, and it's Parker in at the 5. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Harris kicks to Payton. Now Oladipo. Harris outside. Clock at 4. No good on the 3.
Oh, boy, he is just cold as ice. I don't think he's going to be the one to help them cut into the lead.
And some changes here for the Spurs. Baines is checked in, and it's Anderson in for Leonard. And a switcher also for Orlando. Anderson, he's checked in for Payton. Parker passes to Duncan.
Guys, this is the second season since the league returned to a 2-2-1-1-1 finals format. It was a unanimous decision at the time, and I haven't sensed any regrets. The feeling was, and continues to be, that the top seed deserves to have Game 5 at home.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Well, over that break, I listened in on what head coach for the Magic was getting across in the huddle. He said making sharp entry feeds, getting the ball into the post, and getting points on the low block is going to be critical the rest of the way. Another part of what he said to them centered on his desire to see them shooting the ball every opportunity that presents itself. He said, fire away, guys. You've got the green light. A few late-on-the-fly adjustments as the situation gets more desperate for them. It's going to be a tough hill to climb, guys.
Thanks, Doris. Comes up empty down low. And now with Clark, every NBA team flying charter flights, travel much less of a concern with that 2-2-1-1-1 format.
Yeah, and I like that. I like the fact we went back to that. It makes a lot of sense in this day and age, and you don't give an advantage or disadvantage to either team. So very good to go back to that. And with the league showing a willingness to increase travel a little bit for the good of the game, it makes you wonder if you'll see a top 16 interconference playoffs. Again, I've already voiced I'm not in favor of that, but I think it's something that has been discussed at least a little bit.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
San Antonio leading by 22. Parker kicks to Williams, and he stuffs it. What a pass to set him up.
The defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, the D pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark. Wouldn't
Yes,
you?
sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me, that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
Yes, he did.
That was embarrassing.
Vucevic, the shot, no good. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. Anderson dishes to Parker. Duncan with the screen for Parker. Williams with a clean look. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got assist number 8 now on the night. The Magic have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. And Anderson kicks to Vucevic. He tries for 3. Here's Harris. Tim Duncan with the rebound. Duncan's got 14, 14 rebounds for him tonight. Wow. Parker with it. Now guarded by Anderson. Parker passes to Baines. Back to Parker. Spurs passing it around. Williams, that's good.
Man, great ball movement. They're just picking this defense apart with their passing.
Well, how about the 3 Ps, Steve? Purposeful, precise, passing. We love it, and so does this team because they're taking advantage of it.
And the basket by Harris.
Not sure how he got that pass off. I thought for sure he was going to take the shot.
For San Antonio, they've gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the fourth quarter. Parker drives in, and that one's good. Parker's got 4 points in the quarter.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, dominating performance for the Spurs.
You're right, Steve. It was a standout performance across the board. They were just, at times, Clark, it seemed toying with it.
Yeah, like watching a cat play with a mouse, Kevin, quite honestly. They were able to do more or less, whatever they wanted to do.
And this will make it 36 wins on the year for them.
And I think this win builds confidence for this year in the matchup. They take the first win of the season series, and you know, that could play a factor the next time these two teams meet.
And that next meeting will be their second and final game of the season series, being in opposite conferences. So you bet nobody wants to get swept even in a two-game season series. So I think the next game will be hotly contested.
And if you had to pick one player who would maybe take over everyone else in terms of picking up his game, it was, I think, that kind of a night for Parker. And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone on his team on offense.
Green, he's checked in for San Antonio. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
You know, the Spurs, because of their way of conducting business and their low-key personality, have never really been ratings darlings for the NBA, despite being considered and respected as a model franchise in the league. The team's color of silver and black, I think, fits their style. It's not really flashy or gaudy, but it does point out their business-like approach and how precise they play and how much they win.
And you look at the Spurs' lack of branding, if you will. It starts from the top down, from Coach Popovich to Tim Duncan. They don't court media attention. They're close to the vest, all business, all about winning.
And the Spurs look for a certain kind of player, Clark. I know you're interested in this. The players they get are uninterested in the spotlight. Pop calls them guys that have gotten over themselves.
That's a great way to phrase it, because they're others-focused and not self-focused. And that's something that really lends itself well in a culture which glamorizes the I and not the group. And you can see it in the Spurs. They are all about business, and all of the extra stuff is not what appeals to them. They're interested in winning and having fun and enjoying each other, and that's why they're a championship organization and team.
That's a good blueprint.
Yes, it is.
And the call will go against the Prodigy. That's his 3rd foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2.
Well, they're not going to get back into this game when they commit frustration fouls like that one.
How about exasperation fouls? I mean, that's what it looked like to me. It's an indication of the kind of game they've been having.
They set the pick. An easy layup after coming off the pick.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
And so it...
Guys, I'm here with Tony.
Man, I know the team had a bad night, but I feel a little better knowing it wasn't as bad as your night.
Hey, man, back off, all right? It's not like you led us to victories while I tried to bring us down. You're not perfect.
Relax, man. I'm just messing with you. Just let it go. Get back on that horse tomorrow.
Easy for you to say. You didn't embarrass yourself out there. I did.
Forget it. The best shooters don't remember the misses.
What misses? I got amnesia.
That's the spirit.
Come on. Who died? You look a little nervous.
Well, I heard it's never a good thing to be called into the GM's office, especially the day your 10-day contract is up. So if you're gonna release me, I would just appreciate it if you did it quickly.
I'm gonna be brutally honest, kid. You haven't done enough